Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we dive into an essential topic in estate planning, undue influence in the context of a testator executing their last will and testament. This issue is not just legally significant but also deeply personal, as it often involves family and trusted individuals. Let's explore what undue influence is, the laws in Singapore that address it, real-world scenarios, and the consequences of such influence. Undue influence refers to a situation where a testator, the person making a will, is coerced, manipulated, or otherwise improperly influenced to alter or draft their will in a way that doesn't reflect their true intentions. The influence must overbear the testator's free will, rendering the will legally invalid. This concept ensures fairness and protects the testator's autonomy in making decisions about their estate. In Singapore, undue influence in the context of wills is primarily governed by the common law and principles enshrined in the Wills Act. While the Wills Act outlines the formalities for creating a valid will, it doesn't specifically define undue influence. Courts rely on case law to determine if undue influence occurred. Key cases such as Vajaratnam Kumar have provided valuable insights into identifying undue influence. The burden of proof lies with the party alleging undue influence. The person alleging undue influence must demonstrate that the testator's decision was overpowered by another person's will, often supported by circumstantial evidence such as suspicious circumstances, isolation of the testator, or dependency relationships. Let's look at three scenarios where undue influence might arise. Number one, caretaker manipulation. An elderly testator relies heavily on a live-in caregiver for daily activities. The caregiver threatens to withdraw support unless the testator leaves their entire estate to them. The testator, fearing abandonment, complies and executes a will. This is one example of undue influence. Second scenario, family pressure. A wealthy testator is pressured by one of their children to exclude the other siblings from the will. The child exploits the testator's declining mental health and convinces them that the siblings are untrustworthy. Last scenario, dependency exploitation. A testator who depends financially on a friend is persuaded to bequeath all their assets to this friend. The friend uses guilt and emotional manipulation, asserting that they deserve the inheritance for their support. If undue influence is proven, the courts can declare the affected will or specific provisions within it invalid. This often leads to significant consequences. Firstly, the estate may be distributed according to a prior valid will if one exists. Secondly, in the absence of a prior will, the estate is distributed under Singapore's intestacy laws. It can also spark family disputes and prolonged litigation, further draining the estate's resources. Scholars and legal practitioners have highlighted the challenges in proving undue influence. The difficulty lies in balancing the protection of vulnerable testators with respecting testamentary freedom. Some lawyers say that the legal threshold for undue influence is intentionally high to prevent frivolous challenges on wills. On the other hand, some argue that modern tools like video recordings of will signings and mental capacity assessments could help reduce undue influence cases. Ultimately, the legal community agrees that raising awareness and proper estate planning are key to mitigating such issues. Thank you for watching. Undue influence in will making is a topic that touches many lives. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, leave a comment below. Until next time, stay informed and take care.